So the All-Star starters dropped, and people are already kind of up in arms about it. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hawk coming at you with another video. And today, I wanted to talk about the All-Star starters. They dropped Thursday, January 24th on TNT. 5 from the East, 5 from the West, mix of the fan votes, the players, and the coaches. And they're pretty interesting. There's some what people will call snubs on the list. There's some surprising people who made the list. And I just want to briefly give my immediate reactions to, the players who did make it and the players who did not make it. So coming from the Western Conference, we have Steph Curry, LeBron James, James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Paul George. And for the most part, I don't think people will really have an issue with this list. Bron, Steph, KD, Harden have all been balling well this season. Bron's injured kind of right now, but they've already said if they were in the playoffs, he'd be playing. So I'm sure he'll be fine by the All-Star break. But Paul George, I've already seen a lot of contention on Twitter, on Instagram, talking to my boys about how in the world did Paul George make the All-Star team. And for me, it comes down to a couple of things. Currently, the Thunder are 3rd in the West. They're 30-18. And Paul George has been a really big part of that. He's averaging 26 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, shooting about 40% from 3 and 45% for field goal percentage. So he's having a really good season. Some would even say he's having an MVP caliber season. I've heard talks of him being, I guess, in the MVP running. Personally, even though I'm a fan, I don't think he'll win it. But he's having a really good season. But everyone's saying, why isn't Anthony Davis a starter? And to me, I think a couple of things go into that. The biggest one being the Pelicans are trash this season. They're currently 22-27. They sit 12th in the West. Anthony Davis himself is having a phenomenal season, averaging 29 points a game, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal and a half, about almost 2.5 blocks a game, shooting 50% from the field and 32% from 3. But I think what plagues him and what has continued to plague him throughout his career is being in a small market. I think a lot of the average fans haven't really looked at him as a superstar type talent because they don't see his games played on TNT, ESPN, ABC. They don't see him and, the Nike commercials, and they simply don't see him as a superstar talent. And I think the fact that the fans had 50% of the vote and the fact that the Pelicans aren't playing well at all, really, and that he's injured potentially for the next 2 weeks, I think hurt his ability to become a starter. Do I think he'll make the All-Star team? No doubt. And do I think he'll get a lot of playing time during the All-Star game? If he's healthy, for sure. He's a phenomenal talent. He's an MVP caliber player, and he's probably going to end up in top 3 in voting this season for the MVP. Well, if the Pelicans, manage to make the playoffs, if they stay out of the playoff race, he won't be anywhere near the MVP conversation because that just doesn't happen. But he will be an All-Star. It's just he's not a starter because, to be honest with you, he's in a terrible market and he needs to leave. But that's a conversation for a different day. Now, to me, the Eastern Conference starters are where things get a little interesting. Eastern Conference starters are Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, and Joel Embiid. One of the first things that I think will stick out to most people is the fact that Kemba Walker is starting. And a lot of people are going to think, well, where in the world is John Wall? Because he's been, an all-star in the Eastern Conference for so long. Well, one, John Wall is playing horrible this season. And the Wizards are playing horrible this season. And I'm pretty sure John Wall is injured and out for the rest of the season. But Kemba Walker has been playing great basketball. Kemba currently has the Charlotte Hornets in playoff contention. They currently sit at the 7th seed. And like I said, he's playing great basketball. He's putting up 25 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, shooting 43% from the field and 35% from 3. And he's really just stepping into a volume scorer role for the Hornets, if you will. He dropped 60 on the Sixers earlier in the season, and he came out the gates this season red hot, scoring multiple 30-point games, a couple of 40-point games, I believe. And he's, like I said, he scored that 60 points on the Sixers. He's cooled off a little bit last couple of weeks, but still playing well enough, in my opinion, to 100% be deserving of the All-Star starting position. Other than Kemba Walker, the only other person I was maybe surprised by was Kawhi Leonard, and that's simply because of the amount of games he's missed, not by his play and the numbers he's putting up at all. The Raptors are currently second in the East, and he's putting up phenomenal numbers. So I'm not really surprised that he's starting based off numbers. Just I know he's missed a lot of games, but I'm happy to see that he's was chosen as a starter. Overall, I'm really excited for the All-Star game this season. I think these are some great starters, and I can't wait for the draft on February the 7th to see who the reserves are going to be. But that's all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Also follow me on Instagram at Hawks Hoops, where I post daily NBA content and my reaction to NBA news. Until next time, it's your boy Hawk, and I'm out. Peace.